So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a YouTuber who might just be the bravest YouTuber on the platform, but at the same time, might be the dumbest. Because this YouTuber in particular has recently been so brave that he has decided to sue a company worth $70 billion. But at the same time, this YouTuber has been very dumb because he tried to sue a company worth $70 billion. Like, we don't even have to add any context. We don't need to look through the lawsuit at all. Like, realistically, the company worth $70 billion is gonna win. Now, I realise that isn't always the case, right? It's not whoever just has the most money wins the lawsuit every single time. But when we actually do add some context to this case, I have less faith in the YouTuber, because the YouTuber we're talking about today is Anthony Fantano. He has 1.67 million subscribers, and he does videos like reviewing albums and singles and whatnot. He's very well known in the music world, some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. A lot of artists I've seen tend to dislike him because his rating system doesn't make too much sense, or at least that's what they say. But yeah, I mean, if we look at some of his most recent videos, we have some like reviewing Travis Scott and Beyonce's new song, which I didn't even know existed. He's also got another video here 10 days ago talking about Travis Scott's song and saying it's disappointing. And we also have this video, which is simply titled, I Saw a Movie, which I've got to say, I am desperate to click. But why has Anthony Fantano got himself involved in a lawsuit, you might be asking? Well, he has decided to sue Activision. Activision being one of the biggest games companies in the world. They've made multiple Call of Duty games and a bunch of other games that you've definitely heard of. And like I mentioned earlier, they are worth an estimated $72 billion. It's not exactly pocket change, is it? So if trying to sue Activision doesn't already sound incredibly dumb, let's get into the reason why he's decided to sue them. Activision sues popular YouTube music critic after he tried charging for TikTok clip. Yes, that's right, Anthony Fantano actually thought he would win a lawsuit because Activision used one of his TikToks. And let me just show you the TikTok in question, because the fact that he's went out of his way to try and sue a $72 billion company, you would probably think that his TikTok is a masterpiece. Something he worked years on, put blood, sweat and tears into this project, and he's just absolutely gutted that Activision would use without his permission. Well, yeah, about that.
Ooh, a fresh pie? Save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... Alright, that's good. Okay. Alright, okay, alright. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's enough slices!
A work of art, quite frankly. But this sound went very viral on TikTok. People are using it as a bit of a trend, you know, the bit where he says, it's enough slices. It was just a trend that was going around and so many people were using it. And Activision decided to use it in a video where they were launching their new Crash Bandicoot shoes. And as we can see by this article, Anthony Fantano was not happy about this. Apparently, Fantano wasn't all about it, alleging it created a false endorsement of the product without him actually being associated with it. He sent the company a cease and desist letter on June 27th, demanding that Activision Blizzard stopped using the audio and made a six-figure settlement payment to him. If the company didn't pay up, he would initiate litigation. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, very brave. It's a very brave thing to do, to try and sue a company that you're definitely not going to be able to sue over something very small in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, it's also very, very dumb. Because obviously, Activision will have the best lawyers in the world, and quite frankly, they wouldn't even need the best lawyers in the world, because when we hear more about this case, it gets even more stupid. Interestingly though, Activision's lawsuit alleges that Fantano himself opted to put the clip in TikTok's commercial sounds library, specifically designating it as usable in advertisements. Yeah, so in case you don't use TikTok too much, you can actually include the audio from one of your videos in the sound library on TikTok so other people can use it as like a bit of a trend. And when you actually do that, you are accepting the fact that anyone can use it, even commercially. So Anthony Fantano has basically said himself that anybody can use this audio, even commercially. Activision then used it commercially, and Fantano is now trying to sue them. You can see why I don't think he's going to win, can't you? And the thing is, I would love to be Team YouTuber in this situation, you know? It's a YouTuber going against a $70 billion company. Obviously, I would want the YouTuber to win, but I just can't have any sympathy, because he's put himself in a situation where Activision are now counter-suing Fantano to get him to pay for their legal fees, which, I mean, are gonna be ridiculous. And he should have knew all along he was never gonna win this, but I guess the reason why he might have thought he was gonna win this is because he's apparently been doing this a lot. Fantano has embarked on a scheme whereby he selectively threatens to sue certain users of the Slice's audio unless they pay him extortionate amounts of money for their alleged use. So yeah, it seems like he's been doing this for a while where someone will use his audio and he'll threaten them legally. And I guess it might have been successful in the past because he's not suing a $70 billion company. But if this is true and he's going around just threatening lawsuits against people using this audio unless they pay him, that is ridiculously scummy, especially if he's just going around and threatening like normal TikTok creators. Now, we don't know the ins and outs of who he's been threatening. He hasn't actually released a statement on this just yet, so he might have just been going against companies, which I guess I would care quite a bit less about. But if he is just going around threatening users on TikTok, then that is so fucked up on many levels. I mean, it's such a widely known thing now that copyright issues in social media like YouTube, TikTok, and other video platforms is a major problem. We've been dealing with this on YouTube for God knows how long, with false copyright claims and false copyright strikes, which, by the way, I actually have a funny story for that. This is completely unrelated to this topic, so I'll make it very quick, but I actually woke up today to a copyright strike. Yeah, I woke up to this, which, by the way, this is my first copyright strike in a long time. I've been claimed many a times. People have sent, like, privacy disputes on my videos where, like, their face has been used. I've used a clip of them, and they'll file a privacy dispute, which means I have to either blur their face or remove the video. But a copyright strike is very extreme, because if you get 3 of them, you get terminated, and I was like, what the fuck's happening here? Who the fuck has actually copyright striked me? Now, I'm not going to say which video got the copyright strike or who filed the strike, because I've actually spoke to the person privately now, and we've solved the issue. The video is back up. But what I will say is it was very bizarre, because it wasn't even the person I actually made the video on, which is what I thought happened when I first saw the strike. I thought I made a video on this person who, to be honest, if I had a guess, would potentially be someone who would maybe strike a video here and there. But it actually wasn't that person. It was because I used someone's TikTok in that video for like 20 seconds, and then they copyright striked my video, and I just didn't understand it, so I got in contact with them. Turns out they didn't really know the difference between a claim and a strike, even though the claim wouldn't be justified either. But it's solved now. The video's back up. It's fine, alright? I'm not going to mention the person who did the strike or whatever. But the reason I do bring it up is because clearly the copyright problem on YouTube is still a major fucking issue. The fact that I could even get a copyright strike on my video for reacting to someone's TikTok, where in that TikTok, they're reacting to someone else's video, it made zero fucking sense. So yeah, you can see why I would have the stance that if Fantano is going around and just threatening, like, lawsuits and any legal action because someone has used his audio from a TikTok, it's fucked up. So here we have a quote from Activision's legal team that says, "This dispute is a textbook example of how intellectual property law can be misused by individuals to leverage unfair cash payments. Fantano was very happy to receive the benefit of the public use of the Slices video. It was only after he identified a financial opportunity, namely receiving unjustified settlement payments, that he suddenly decided that his consent was limited. The law does not permit and the court should not countenance."
How do you say it? Countenance.
Countenance. The law does not permit and the court should not countenance such overt gamemanship. So yeah, clearly it does seem like he just saw an opportunity to try and get a fuck ton of money. Didn't really bear in mind the consequences of this, because it does seem like he's going to lose a lot of money having to pay for Activision's like legal fees and whatnot. And yeah, something tells me he probably regrets this at this point. And the article even goes on to say that the company is seeking reimbursement of its legal expenses and a ruling declaring that Fantano cannot sue TikTok users for using the voice clip. So after this case is solved, he won't be able to do this to anybody else, basically, which I think is very, very fair. And trust me, I wanted to go into this video and be all team YouTuber, you know, someone going against a big company. I wanted him to succeed in this, but he's been really stupid, and if he is going to other users, I definitely have no sympathy. And yeah, I just can't see how he would ever possibly win this case. Definitely not a lawyer by any means, but I mean, come on. But yeah, either way, that is what we know at this point. It'll be interesting to hear from Fantano if he does go on to like release a statement, although he might not, because obviously he's in a bit of a legal battle right now. But I would love to know your thoughts down below on what you think about this whole situation. And does anyone actually think Fantano will win? Is there anyone that is slightly delusional? But I mean, what do I know? He might. Who fucking knows? But yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.